Imagine that the whole world started to explode and it started releasing methane gas. What would you do? This is what happens in our story. So at the beginning of the story we see two men who are exploring an icy place. They are exploring when suddenly the ground starts to crack. Man says we should get out of here. Another man jumps towards him but he dies on the spot. Man gets scared and starts running away but he also dies. Next we see Michael, who was having dinner with his family when suddenly there was an earthquake. After a while it stops. Michael's wife says it's happening twice in a week. Michael says, I will call the base and find out why this is happening. His wife says, you are on leave. Then Michael says, I am a geologist, I should know about all this, but his wife refuses to go to the base. Michael decides to go on a trip with his family and tells them to prepare. They are all getting ready. Michael is called to the base. Michael tells his wife, I will be back in an hour, to which his wife agrees. Michael goes to the base. He asks a girl. He tells the girl what the weather is like on the mountain because he wants to take his family there, that the weather on the mountain is right. Then Michael's boss tells him that we think Russia is behind these earthquakes. So we sent two men to explore, but they haven't come back yet. Michael says to tell me when you find out anything, and he leaves. Michael takes his family to the mountain where they see a car, and Michael's daughter says, I thought we were the only ones on that mountain. Gee. Then Michael says that two engineers came here for research, but surprisingly they have not returned yet. Going a little further, they see a house, so Michael's son asks whose house it is, so he tells Michael that this is the outpost high where the explorers stop. They go there, but there is no one there. So they start walking, their dog runs away and there is an explosion. They see that the ground is starting to explode and they run towards the outpost. They arrive at the outpost and after a while everything is fine. Michael calls the base and tells them everything. His boss sends a helicopter to help. Michael sees a huge storm heading their way. If so, they leave the outpost. A professor calls the colonel and asks for permission to go to the mountain, but the colonel refuses. They get tired while walking and suddenly a huge rift opens between them. Michael, seeing that methane is coming out of this crack, he asks everyone to stay away from it. He tells the children to go to the top of the mountain and he will meet them there. The kids start running away from there. Next we see the professor and his team going to the mountain when the soldiers stop him, but with the help of the earthquake he escapes. And while they are doing research, there is a crack that kills them all. Michael and his wife arrive there and they see that everyone is dead except the professor, and the professor is also injured. A rescue team sets out to find Michael and his family. The colonel discovers that the cracks are coming from the caves. The helicopter finds Michael. Michael gets the professor into the helicopter first, but there is a crack in the helicopter, causing the helicopter to go out of control and descend and explode. Michael and his wife escape. As they go, Michael finds his children as well. Michael's son has a walkie-talkie with which Michael sends a signal to the base. It is night and the rescue team finds them and brings them back to the base. Michael tells everyone that the cave's methane is leaking and it's spreading all over the world, so the colonel asks him to how to stop. Michael tells him that we need to find out how much methane there is. And we'll have to blow it up. The colonel says we don't have a team. Rem and Jimmy tell Michael to go with them and they all start getting ready. He asks to go from there. He goes to save the colonel, so the colonel is fine and says that we have fixed the leak. He tells Michael that there is much more methane than we thought. Michael says if that much methane gets into the air we will all die. He says it from spreading we have to fire it to stop it. So Rem says there's an oil well on the way that we can use to stop the methane from spreading. Michael tells them to detonate the methane to an oil rig to blow it up, and they follow through with the plan. Michael sends his family to safety and gets to work with his team. The colonel is showing everyone the way. Michael puts the bomb in place and from there he starts to run away. But when I was ahead, the colonel is about to blast. Michael's dog goes there, after which Michael goes, where does the colonel blast? As I turn 3, the kiss also does its job. And also blast, and according to their plan the methane starts going towards the oil, also blows up the oil tanks which kills the methane gas, and all is well and Michael is back too. Everyone is happy and the story ends with that. If you like our video, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks.